Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tori, and today I have a very exciting video. At least for me it's very exciting. I have an order here and a package from Heba from My Little Journal. Her website is hebaalsibai.com, and she has sent me a nice little package here to unbox for you, and I'm going to do a bit of a process video with some of the products that are in this box as well. So this big box right here is what she sent me, and then I also placed a separate order for the new Heba alphabet that she has, and I figured I would just unbox all of this together with you so you can check it out with me. So we will get right into it. So these, like I said, are the Heba alphabet. She sends the stamp sets in this little, I don't know what these are called, but I love these things and I keep them and use them in my crafting. I don't know what they're called though. Glassine bags, I think maybe. I'm not 100% sure. So I have the lowercase one. There's a piece of cardboard in here. I've got the lowercase alpha. One thing that I really love about this is that there is the creator information, which is her, and then also the title or the name of the stamp set is on here. That is something that I love when companies do, because I love to know what to refer to things as. And this is the uppercase version of that alpha. And like I said, these were in order that I placed myself because I was obsessed with them. So I wanted to just unbox those as well. And then there's the socials if you want to check those out as well. I will link her YouTube channel down in the description box, and then also the website and everything that I will be unboxing today for you down in the description box below as well. Okay, now to start with the unboxing here. Which way is this opening? I love this tape, so cute. The packaging of this stuff is beautiful. I love it. All right, so I'm gonna just pull this stuff out and then we will kind of go through everything together. I already know what this is. I have one of these. Oh, I love this color. So this is the disc-bound Traveler's Notebook cover. If you have been toying around with the idea of doing a disc-bound Traveler's Notebook, these are so good. I love them. It comes with 8 little discs. These are the tiny discs. You can obviously get bigger discs as well, and then there is 4 extra because there's 4 that fit into these little sections right here, and they're fairly easy to plop in and out. I actually used this method for my Traveler's Notebooks last year, so this is the cement colorway, which is available on the website as well. This was my disc-bound Traveler's Notebook from last year. And like I said, you can just upgrade to larger discs. And yeah, I have a disc punch, and I just used this to document all of my Traveler's Notebooks layouts that I did last year. Several of these, I believe I have videos for on my channel as well. But it's good. It's good stuff. And I'm so excited because I had not yet purchased a cover for this year. And because I get decision paralysis, so I wasn't sure what color I wanted, and I love this one, so I'm super happy to have that. And this might be what we do in our process video today, something to go in here. And it comes in this precious little baggie, which I still have my bag from my first one as well. I really like this bag. This is great for storing things. And then we have another little card here with a thank you, and then socials. Let's flip these over. So there's 2 more stamp sets in here. These are the other 2 stamp sets that are on the website. This one is Food for Thought. I love this stamp set, especially this hangry hashtag. I love it. And then this little speech bubble and the little bursts, get in my bed. Like, there's nothing to not like about it. I'm really curious. I'm 99% sure that these are photopolymer stamps. They feel exactly like it. They feel really nice. I'm going to enjoy using these. I can tell immediately already that I will really enjoy using these stamps. I made it all weird. Okay. So that is the Food for Thought stamp set. And then the next one in here is the Reading with Heba stamp set. I love this. I love this one in particular. And this little teeny tiny Kindle. Like, so stinking cute. I cannot wait to use this one as well. We all know I am a big reader here, and I have an obsession with reading stamps. So I'm super excited to have these in my collection. And then the final thing in here is the Currently Scrappy Spiral Notebook. This is amazing. I love the cover of this. I love this hamburger, the TV, the laptop. I love it all. It's so great. I have a Scrappy Spiral notebook. So there is 4 different designs, I believe. So you'll have this design. It's got kind of like pre-boxed layouts for you to do like very easy, quick kind of scrapbooking or memory keeping in. So this is the first layout. And then we've got one with just 5 boxes over here, this one over here, and then this last one, and then I believe this is a repeat, yes. So we start repeating again here. So there's 4 separate layouts. You can use these for so many different things. This one says currently, so I'll probably end up using this one to track any of my currentlies. I am obsessed with it, and just to give y'all kind of a look at one that's currently in progress, I have the 2024 Scrappy Spiral Notebook as well that I have been using and just doing just monthly tidbits of scrapbooking. I think I've only got 1 spread from February, so I do need to kind of go back and add some more in. But this is kind of what mine is looking like for me right now. So it's lots of fun. It's such an easy way to just get memories on paper. And I'm just sticking in whatever, just random pictures of what I'm reading, a picture of a poem that I liked. My husband and I went on a date, like so many good options. I just have like random everyday moments in here for 2024, and I will be using this for the rest of the year. And this one, like I said, will probably end up being a currently one because it says currently, because, you know, that just kind of fits. But I love it. The doodles on here are just chef's kiss. So good. The quality of it is so nice. Like, this is a thick cover. I have not been careful with the one that I already own, and it's been holding up so well. I'm pretty sure I've dropped it a couple of times carrying it around my house. Like, the quality is fantastic. The paper does not bleed through, and I'm a very heavy stamper. I have been using just regular dye ink. I haven't used archival ink in it. But so far, so good. Everything has been working out for me, so I'm excited to jump into this one as well. So like I said, we've got a ton of goodies here. Everything that I have shared, these 4 items from the unboxing, it is all currently available on the website. So I will, like I said, link everything below for you if you're interested in checking any of these out. what I think I am going to document today is I recently went on a work trip, and when I go on work trips, I eat out a lot. So I'm probably going to use this stamp set, the Food for Thought stamp set, potentially with the new Heba Alphas, and document some of the food pictures that I took on that trip. And we will get this traveler's notebook, this disc-bound traveler's notebook cover set up, ready for use, and our first spread documented in it. So if you are interested in checking that out, stick around. I'm gonna go print my pictures and I will be right back to get started with you. All right, friends, I am back. So I have decided to go with my original thought here to document all of the delicious food that I ate while I was on my work trip. And so I've printed out a ton of little mini photos here of all of the meals that I went and ate. And I'm going to be making a traveler's notebook layout with these photos. So I have 3 papers here that are from Studio Calico Traveler's Notebook kits that I have just trimmed down so that I can use them for my disc-bound traveler's notebooks. I'm just going to be using the backs, just so 2 graph patterned papers essentially for this particular spread, because I didn't really want too much pattern. But I also pulled this one out, and I think I'm going to add just a little tiny bit to each side here so that I can then lay my photos over them. I also have this piece of paper, which is kind of like a dotted paper pulled out. This I think is from Freckled Fawn. I'm pretty sure that's where it's from. I want to use this for my cover because, like I said, I am going to do like a little cover at the beginning here. So let's get that started before we jump into everything else. So this is my little number bin. I primarily use this for December Daily because I like to number my stories when I'm working in my December Daily album. So this is stuff left over from last year, and I have one of these already stapled in a 20, and I thought that this red actually looked really good with these dots, and I could just essentially staple these 2 together too and kind of combine those and attach them there. And then honestly, I think that might be enough for me just as like a nice little 2024 title page. I might pull out some of the little bursts that are in some of these stamp sets here and use that. And I'm going to be using the Food for Thought stamp to document all of these delicious eats. And I will be using the Heba Alpha for my title. So I'm going to go ahead and get this notebook set up. So the first thing that I'm going to do before I get too far into everything is I'm just going to add my little discs to the inside of here, because knowing myself, I will get overly excited and then realize that I never did this to begin with whenever I go to actually put everything in here, and it'll drive me a little bit crazy not being able to just put it right in. So these go in super easily. And like I said, there's 4 extra in here because there's only 4 slots. So they just pop right in. And we are good to go there. And to punch my discs, I have a like arc disc punch. I really like this because it punches through super thick materials. So like, oop. In my old disc-bound traveler's notebook, the one from last year, I had a piece of like plastic that I punched the disc holes in so I could have that little banner hanging out of the top. And I might do something like that again this year as well, because I really liked having that little ribbon poking out of the top of my traveler's notebook. So since I had these originally stapled together. This was my 20 that I ended up using a different color for last year. I am going to just staple the 24 as well. That way it's kind of a little bit cohesive. So this is going to be my cover page. It just says, like I said, 2024. That'll be the first page that we see when we open up into this notebook. So it'll be like a nice little intro to the year. And I will likely end up using this for the entirety of the year. The one that I used last year lasted for the full year. I probably wouldn't have been able to fit much else into it. So I'm thinking that this year will probably work out to be roughly the same. So I am going to go ahead and get started on my actual layout here. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm going to get started by just trimming off 2 strips from this black and white plaid patterned paper. They're about 1.5, maybe 2 inches big. After I get those trimmed out, I am going to rip the edges off and then place them on opposite sides of my 2 papers to kind of frame the spread with a little bit of patterned paper, just to bring a little bit more character to the spread. I'm going to, like I said, just rip off the edges of those because we all know I love a ripped edge. So I'm going to get that added and then get those adhered down. Once they're adhered down, then I will start by getting all of my teeny tiny photos trimmed out. These photos, I believe, are about 1.6 inches wide and a little bit more than 2 inches tall, I think, is what I ended up with when I was getting them compiled in my my printing app. So I am just going to use my teeny tiny cutter, the Tim Holtz Ionic, like mini cutter, and get those trimmed out. I had to get one of these tiny ones because I ended up needing to cut a lot smaller than 2 inches, and my We Are Makers or We Are Memory Keepers one is just too big. So it wasn't allowing me to trim these down as small as I was liking. So I ended up getting this tiny one from Amazon, and I love it. It's perfect for trimming out tiny images, especially those that you are using in a scrappy spiral notebook, because the boxes on those are quite small as well. So that trimmer is perfect for trimming out those images. So I'm just messing around here trying to figure out how I want these photos to be laid out. I decided that I was going to place them over my patterned paper, but leave a gap between the very top ones and then the 2 at the bottom. And that's where I'm going to place the title that I will give this spread, which is going to be Miramar Eats. And yeah, so I will be using the Sema Alpha to create that title after I get all of these nice little food images adhered down to my page. Now, I am very much a food photographer. I love taking pictures of my food, and I would not be lying if I said that I wasn't judged at every meal when I took my camera out and took a photo. But I knew I would want to make this particular spread, so I made it a point to take a photo of every meal when I went out to eat while I was on this work trip. So I am pulling out that lowercase semi-alphabet, and I am going to stamp out Miramar Eats in that little opening that I left there for my title. I did spell Miramar wrong. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I literally write the name of this city all the time. But yeah, I completely butchered it and spelled it wrong, but I have not fixed it yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to try and fix it or if I'm just going to leave it and be done with it. But yeah, that I right there is supposed to be an A, not an I. So anybody that is familiar with Florida and the cities, you may notice that that is spelled wrong, and I am fully aware of it, but I did not realize that I spelled it wrong until I was editing the cover video, the cover image for this video. So there we go. I am going to use a small piece of mint tape because I do not have enough room to fit Miramar on one page. So I'm going to tape my 2 pages together just to make sure that I am roughly around the same area when I extend that word to the next page. Getting to the end of my title here, I did notice that I was almost perfectly in the center of that space that I left, but I wanted to fill in that teeny tiny little space over on the right hand side. So I'm going to use the exclamation point, and I'm going to stamp that twice and just kind of make it a little bit off kiltered so that it matches the vibe of the actual alpha that I used. So I'm going to go ahead and get those alpha stamps put away, and then I'm going to pull out the Food for Thought stamp set. I'm going to use this speech bubble and stamp this 3 times on my spread, and I'm also going to be flipping it around so that like the little, I don't even know what that part is called, but the arrow portion of the speech bubble is in a different spot on each particular stamp. I felt like that made it look really unique for each situation or each photo. So I really liked doing that, and all I had to do was just turn the stamp in order to get that look. I'm also going to stamp out #foodie underneath my title because this spread is all about food. And then I am going to, I believe, start stamping out some of my icons. I'm going to use this one up at the top. It looked very similar to a pasta dish, and I had a pasta dish in one of my photos, so I used that. I also pulled out the Skip the Salad stamp. I have several photos of salad because I do actually really enjoy eating salad. So I just used a piece of tape to cover up the Skip the Salad portion of it and just use that little salad icon so that I could stamp it next to the 2 salads that I have on my actual spread. And then once I finish getting these icons stamped out, I am going to grab a pen and give each of these little sections like a header. I am going to just write the name of the restaurant or establishment that we went to eat next to each photo. That way I can remember where we went, because a couple of these were like local, like small business type restaurants, and then I think a couple of them were like actual like franchise restaurants as well. So we ended up going to like a World of Beer restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory, a restaurant called Flanagan's, and then Zuru Ramen Shop and the Kebab Shop. And then the last one is Byris, I believe, which was a really like fancy restaurant, and that is the one that I'm writing on here right now. It's like Byris Grill. And then I'm just going to use my pen and draw a line under each of my restaurant names, and then I will move on to adding a couple more stamps. I did really try to just use as many of these stamps as possible on this spread without it being too overwhelming. So I am going to fill in the speech bubbles with some of these phrases. So I will be putting "get in my belly" in one of the speech bubbles,
Good Eats in one of the speech bubbles. And then there's a little banner that says on the menu. I will be also using that one, but I am going to use a piece of tape to cover up the top of the banner. There is kind of like a line to break the banner up. So I noticed that if we covered up that top portion of the line, or what's above the line essentially, that it would fit also inside that speech bubble. So I am going to cover that up and then fit that banner right inside the speech bubble, and that one says on the menu. I also off camera colored in the plates and bowls of my little icons. I used a green Tombow marker to color those in, but I think I reached my max recording limit, so I didn't catch that part on camera. And then I'm pulling out a shortbread ink pad from close to my heart, and I'm just going to be adding some bursts around my spread as well. And I'm just doing it on the 4 corner photos around the icons or the speech bubbles as well. I just have a couple more things to do, and then this layout is done. I am going to add a tiny bit of journaling to each section of my spread, just talking about the food and stuff and anything else that I wanted to note for each restaurant that we went to. I am also then going to adhere my cover photo to my first spread of this spread. I'm going to adhere those back to back and get those in my album. And then I'm going to do a date stamp and just date stamp the days that I was on this trip, because those are the days that we were going out to eat. I don't go out to eat very often. Usually it's only if I am on a work trip. So I do like to make sure that I document those, because going out to eat is kind of a fun time. So yes, I am going to get these adhered back to back, and then I am going to pull out my arc disc punch and get my holes punched for these particular pages and get everything added back into my disc bound traveler's notebook cover. So like I said, I am going to have all of this stuff linked in the description box for you below if you are interested in checking out any of these items from Heba. They are amazing. I am in love with everything, and I have, like I showed in the beginning, I already owned several of these items, so I have used them and they are such good quality. I am going to add the rest of the discs to my actual empty disc punches, and then just hold those together to make it look a little bit more complete. And then that's it. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!